I would cold call and I would get one client a week for $97. Maybe one client every 10 days. All I have to do is do this every day, all day for 2 years, and I'll be at 10K a month. One channel, one product, one avatar, so $1 million a month. All right, what's up, guys? My name is Kai. I make $180K a month selling one GoHighLevel website. All right, let me share my screen. Cool. All right, so let's go here and refresh the Stripe real quick, just so you guys can see. So we scaled from like 30-ish K all the way to 180 in like 5 or 6 months or so. So you can see here in March, February, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So a little bit over. Right now we're at 180K, 597 active subs, and a little bit over 1 mil in volume. So yeah, that's me. And yeah, I've been doing this about 2 years or so.
Crazy. Well, I'm stoked to have Kai on. Kai and I talked like almost a year ago when I first started posting YouTube videos. He just hopped on my calendar and I was like, who is this guy doing the one website template thing? So yeah, that's his claim to fame. Kai, how the hell did you get into this?
Dude, honestly, so I had a friend from college and I just literally, I was broke and fucking just, sucked after college. No idea what was going on. So I called my buddy and I was like, I know you're into something, bro. What are you doing? He's like, dude, I just learned about this new thing called GoHighLevel. Instantly I saw it and I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to make money with this thing, but like, this is a fucking amazing tool. So that was it. Like, I had no idea. And the only reason I chose websites is I just didn't know how to do anything else. And I knew what a website was and I knew that business owners knew what websites were. And I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to do this, So that's how I got into it. Yeah.
Dude, I love it. And you say that in your videos, you're like, I'm pretty much average intelligence and I figured this shit out. So you can too. So I love the transparency there, bro. Like have people on YouTube trying to be like, oh yeah, whatever. But no, I love that. So you find HighLevel. What's the next couple steps? You're starting to sell websites. How'd you get your first 10 clients?
Yeah. So I actually had a business partner originally, Ian, and we're no longer together. Shout out Ian though, great guy. By the way, never partner with someone who has the exact same skill set as you. It just doesn't work out. Yeah. But yeah, he flew out here to Hawaii. We boot camped for like 10 days. We just literally just spammed GoHighLevel, just mess with buttons, press buttons, mess with the website builder, fucked everything up 100 times. And then we just started cold calling. Like day 3, we just spam cold calls. And we tried to sell reviews. We tried to sell websites. Neither of us had any idea how to build any of the stuff. Yeah. But we got our first client after like 5 or 6 days, I think, of cold calling. We got him on a 2-week free trial. And then we got him on a $97 a month after that. David, he's a dog groomer. Literally first client still with us. So yeah, dude, just raw action, man. That's the issue is people just don't take action. They sit on their ass all day and just like, what if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? Yeah. Bro, shit's going wrong no matter what you do.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. And I promise you, you can sit there and watch YouTube videos for 4 hours, or you can make 4 hours with the cold calls, and you will make more money from the cold calls every single time.
Every single time.
You start cold calling. I'm sure that first card on file felt absolutely euphoric for the dog groomer there. But talk us about the skill set. So what's your skill set, and what was his skill set that y'all had kind of in common?
Yeah, so Ian, my old partner, just a sales guy, right? Like super good at talking, loves to talk to the camera, can literally, could talk to a wall. I can do that too. Yeah. So it's like, we just kind of realized super early on, we're like, dude, like we need, like, this is not it. I love you. And that's it. Like, we're still friends. But my partner now is like, we call him like the little mini Elon Musk. You met him at GoHighLevel. He's just like this just hyper intelligent back end dude who's he's a nerd, but he's my nerd.
Yeah.
And it just worked perfectly. And jacked. Yeah. But yeah, so if on the partner thing, I mean, a lot of people ask me like, should I get a partner? I would say 99.9% of the time, no. If it wasn't for Mike, like he's just a specimen. I just would do it yourself. I would find an accountability partner, someone that can kind of work with you and you guys can share ideas. But dude, like, I do it yourself most of the time.
For sure. Yeah. No, that's what I see like work way better than the whole like, hey, I'm friends with somebody. We're going to go into business together and cold call. Like, okay, how about y'all both start your own business and just be like, buddies there and hold each other accountable.
And that's a super common mistake with beginners. Super common mistake.
Yeah. But you get that first card on file and you're selling the websites. The first website, I'm guessing y'all did it all yourself. What was delivery like, and how has delivery changed from the very first person you onboarded to what does it look like now, onboarding 10 people a day?
Yeah. So first car on file happened in this room. Actually, my mom was downstairs. Me and Ian were up here, and we just started screaming like she thought like we died or something. It was like a euphoric experience, as you said. It was like, and it didn't get paid. It was just a trial, But when you go from like never selling anything online to like just be like, holy shit, in like 8 days, we literally just learned a software and got somebody to give us their credit card. It's like a crazy experience, right? So it was wild. But yeah, first website looked like shit. Like we really thought it was good. It was like a 1-pager, nothing worked. And we just gave this guy like top tier support. Like we were just on calls with him all day. Like whatever you need, we got you. And the dude was just the nicest person in the world. He's still paying us. But so yeah, the website took us like 20 hours. It looked like shit. Images were all over the place. Buttons didn't work. Nothing. Like, it was just a complete shit show. But like I said, we were on calls with him all day. So he's still paying us. It worked out. Now the delivery is crazy, right? We have a VA. The whole thing's basically built with AI. We send an onboarding form to the client, like I talk about in my YouTube videos. Yeah. They basically build the website for us with just information. What services you provide, how much do you charge, where you located, business name, phone. That form basically just goes into ChatGPT, goes into GoHighLevel, and boom, the website pops out. We change some images, and you get a 25-page website for like $50 if you pay a VA and do that correctly. It's crazy.
Incredible. Yeah, incredible. Yeah. So was Mike the mastermind behind that system, or you as are in there as well, or?
I had a little stuff in there, but it was mostly Mike. But that being said, like the optimization process, like now if the optimization process is a 10 out of 10, like it was still really good at like a 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. Yeah. It was slower, but the quality of the website has been the same for a while. It's just how fast can we get it done, right? Because with as you scale, you have to get more websites done quick. Yeah. But for a beginner, and this is another huge mistake, dude. Beginners think it has to be perfect and optimized on day one. Bro, we were at 30K a month and our websites were still a shit show. Like the websites worked, but like optimization not there, process took forever, buttons broken. Yep. So beginners, dude, it's just raw action every time. Stop fucking overthinking stuff every time. Yeah.
No, 100%. I like to share that story when I have affiliate come to the community and they're like been on coaching calls for 3 months and they're still talking about setting their emails up or like they haven't made their first cold call. And I'm like, I made this mistake when I first got started. I spent probably 2 full weeks building out an onboarding process that was going to automate the most amount of stuff possible and I was going to be able to onboard review clients so easily. I had like 2 clients. I didn't even know how to onboard somebody yet. And I wasted 2 weeks of growth in marketing and advertising thinking I was going to build this onboarding process that didn't even end up working because I hadn't onboarded enough people. So it's like, you've got to build the plane while you're flying it. You've got to just go out there, mess up, and then you'll learn kind of where to optimize it because people get so bogged down and let me build something cool in high level. Don't do that. Just go market.
One thing on that, we were at 35 or before me and Mike partner, I was like $34,000 a month. Our email sending domain still didn't work. We still could not send just for everyone out there. Our emails literally didn't send to clients till at 34K a month, just to give you like an idea of like how janky the system is. Like you look at someone at 30K a month and you're like, oh, these guys know their shit. Bro, we're at 180K a month now. Like our text messages just got shut down yesterday for a full 24 hours. Like shit just breaks. Yeah. So just to give you guys an idea, you know?
For sure. No, it's all part of it. But all right. So somebody's getting started. When you got the guy on the phone and you're selling them, what is your sales pitch? I know now, like I see your ads everywhere. It's like $297. You get a website and all the stuff, but go through your sales pitch. What's kind of your offer?
I mean, it's $297 a month. We just say, hey, this is exactly what we do. Take it or leave it. Like that's the messaging, because you have to understand, like if you're going to build a website and set up these systems, you're selling a system, not a lead generation system. Mm-hmm. Now, leads come as a byproduct of the system you set up. But just because we build someone a 25-page website and we get them 50 extra Google reviews, I can't exactly look at that and be like, hey, Mr. Contractor, you're going to get this much more business because we did these things for you. I can only tell you that more Google reviews and a better website, the outcome of that equals more business. Yeah. So that's the general messaging and just really being upfront with it. Our biggest issue still is we get the wrong clients who come in expecting a full lead generation system, and we have to either refund them or there's a horrible client. So again, this only applies at scale. At the beginning, dude, just do whatever you can to get a client through the door and just build a fucking website. Just do the thing. And from the beginning, the only advantage I've ever had, the only thing I think I'm actually good at is just blindly doing stuff. Like I'm not tech savvy, like I said, average intelligence, but dude, I don't give a shit if I'm embarrassed, if I look dumb, I will just continue to do shit. And I think that's the biggest advantage you can have as a beginner by far.
Yeah, no, for sure. No. And that's huge about setting expectations of, hey, this is, we're not running your Facebook ads. We're not running your Google ads. I know you might have that as an upsell now, but like we're not generating a whole bunch of leads. We're generating a system and a process that the leads will come as a byproduct. And so, like one thing you say in your ads, and I've seen it on your funnel as well, is like, oh, we're not another like 15-year-old telling you we'll get you 30 booked appointments in the next 10 days. And so your messaging is very blunt and direct. Was that kind of just by nature, or did that come from talking to hundreds of contractors and be like, this is what they want to hear?
Both. I mean, that was gonna be our marketing style regardless. That's why, like, if I said the same shit to like med spa owners or dentists, it probably wouldn't work, right? Yeah. Just the way you resonate is you have to speak their language.
Yeah.
That being said, this is still not stuff that you need to be thinking about day one. Day one, it doesn't matter. Day one, if you lose your client in a month, day one, if you waste all their time and you waste their money, worst case, just refund them, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's the worst case. Pay them their $297. Like you're not going to break these guys' bank account for $297. Worst case, just refund them. Literally nothing bad can happen. You're just going to learn. Literally. Yeah, so I'm fine to talk about this stuff, but like the issue is beginners hear this stuff and they like have all these questions and like, oh, do I need to do this? Your first 1 to 10 clients, it doesn't fucking matter at all. Just get a client and try to onboard them. Like literally that's it. It doesn't matter. Like it's just going to go wrong regardless.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. People say like, oh, I've watched your onboarding calls 20 times, Clay. I'm like, why don't you go do one?
Just do one. You'll learn more by one by watching 20.
Yeah, 100%. And so I think what's really unique about you is that as somebody that's doing 180K a month, a lot of times people lose touch of like where you're at the beginning, right? They lose touch of like what matters then. And you're still, I mean, you've scaled so quick, so you probably remember it. But after you onboard the first guy, what does 1 to 100 or 1 to 10 look like? Are y'all just still cold calling? Or when did y'all turn on the ads?
Yeah, like I think it's like, again, me and Mike were separate till I was at 30K a month and he was at like 15, 20. That's when we partnered. So we had our own separate companies doing the exact same thing, by the way. Yeah. That's what I mean by find like an accountability partner. But yeah, cold called to like 16, 17 clients, I think. And then I was around like 3 or 4K a month when I started ads. Again, dude, you start ads, it's going to be a shit show as well. I wasted like $5,000. I got scammed out of $5,000 from some bullshit course. And yeah, dude, it's a shit show. But ads, it's definitely the fastest way to scale. That being said, there's zero reason to spend money on ads if you haven't done 1,000 cold calls and figured out your messaging and how to talk. Otherwise, you're just going to waste money. Your bank account's done, and then you're back at ground zero. So you have to get good before you start running ads.
100%.
Yeah, I have actually. You know what? One more thing. This is another mistake with beginners. They look at and they ask me questions now about, hey, what are you doing at 180K a month? So many of the things that apply to me now at 180K a month, you have to just scratch because they don't apply to you from 1 to 20 clients.
Yeah.
The same way, like my investing strategy is not going to be the same as like Warren Buffett because I have like $100,000 to invest, not 100 billion. Yeah. Right. So 2 different strategies.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah. And you say that about, hey, you got to make 1,000 calls. You got to pop on 1,000 sales calls. That is the trench knowledge that someone out there cannot get. You cannot get or steal from somebody from a course or whatever. You have to go put the reps in because sure, you can copy a funnel. We've already talked about this before. You can copy a funnel word from word, but copy expires. Eventually that's not going to resonate anymore and you won't know why it worked in the first place. And so you won't be able to just kind of replicate and continue to get results when things change. So that's gold there. What we talked about, you started with cold calling. Now you do ads. Ads are really a quick way to scale. Cold calling is important. Walk us through how you cold called, where you got the list, what was your process, and walk us through that.
Yeah, so I love what you said. Winning in the weeds is super important. So when you win the weeds, you have more context than literally everyone else. Like I've done, I don't even know how many thousands of cold calls. I've done $4,000 or $5,000 4 or 5,000 calls just on Zoom with contractors, close or not close. So when you have that much experience, right? Like other stuff is just going to come easier and come more naturally. So yeah, cold called, have no idea how long. But yeah, after the cold calling, started ads like 3 or 4K, pumped as much money into ads as we could. And then just found a couple winning ads and duplicated those ads and just kept running around those messaging. Sorry, dude, what was the original question?
Yeah, when you were calling, what were you saying and where were you kind of getting your list?
How do we find the list? Right. So this is unbelievable. So people, again, this goes back to beginners. You think you need some crazy system to have a dialer and have all the leads set up and everything. I would literally take my iPhone. I would go on Google Maps and type in roofer in Las Vegas. And then the next day I would type in handyman in Oregon and literally just go down the list. Look at the thing on Google Maps, type it into my phone like a fucking idiot and call them. Like that's how bad it was. Now I would definitely use a dialer. Like I would use Kixie or something like that, but use some kind of a dialer that you can just connect because it's all about how many people can you talk to in an hour. And then also it builds thick skin. You get good at talking and then you understand like what your market is looking for. That's it. Yeah. And you just spam that. You just spam that. It was all day, every day, 10 hours a day, cold calling until I got 16 to 18 clients ish.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love it. And when you mentioned, I heard it in one of your videos, you mentioned a point where you were on like the 30th no-show in a row or something. And you were like, bro, I'm going to quit this. What is that story like? And how did you fix 30 no-shows in a row?
So 33 no-shows in a row, dude. And it was right after I had hip surgery as well. So I was on painkillers and shit. I was just sitting here I know you know the feeling, but just looking yourself in a blank Zoom screen for hours and just 33 no-shows in a row. And you're just sitting there, just you looking at the camera, and you're just thinking, there's no way this, I was just thinking, there's no way I can be on 30 and just like statistically somebody has to show up. So yeah, 33 no-shows. I tweaked the ads a little bit and actually switched to like just running them to like an actual, instead of a Facebook lead form ad. Facebook lead form ads are shitty as hell. They're actually a lot better now, but at the time they did not work well at all because you couldn't disqualify. So anyway, we switched to like a landing page. We set up a basic book a call funnel. And the first person that came in the door was like, yeah, I know what you do. Saw your ads. Love it. Need your service. The easiest close of my life. And I literally went downstairs. I was like, Mom, I figured it out. Figured it out. And then from there, 2 months later, back to like 15, 16K a month.
Yeah.
Also, one more thing for beginners, because I know a lot of these guys are going to have less than 20, 30 clients. You have to understand that how long it takes you to get from like 1 to 30 clients is going to be significantly longer than 30 to 100 clients. It's not even the same time horizon. Just to give you an idea, it took me 8 months to get from 0 to like 4K a month. It took 2 months to get from 4K to like 15K. So just think about how big of it. That's a huge hockey stick.
Yeah.
So understand when you're beating your fucking head into a wall every single day on no shows. I did the same shit. Clay did the same shit. Everyone that's ever been successful with a business has done the same shit. You're not doing anything wrong. That's just what hard feels like, literally.
Yeah, no, 100%. It is for me. I would go on either a walk or I would like lay on the ground and be like, what the fuck am I doing in my life? You know, I'm like in my room, I'm like on the rug, I'm like laying there, like, what am I doing in my life? It's the weirdest feeling. But yeah, you said, we've been averaging about 30 to 50 new customers onboarded a month. It took me like 7 months to get to 50 clients. Like it took me forever. And we're just doing reviews. And so that kind of segues in the second part about you sell a system, right? You're not selling like lead generation, Facebook ads, whatever. You sell a system that these contractors need. And obviously we have AI messaging and stuff here and there, but it's so tempting to be like, oh, I'm going to go jump to a new offer and we're going to do AI receptionist as the front end, or we're going to do some AI stuff. But you've kept your messaging and offer very consistent. What's the reasoning behind that? Are y'all trying to add on AI stuff? I've just done reviews. I've been so like out of the AI stuff. So I want to hear kind of where you're at on that.
Just Alex Hormozy. So it just repeated in my head. What is it? One channel, one product, one avatar to $1 million a month. Yes. Like literally that's it.
Yes.
And when I started with the 297 and the websites, I was, we were in different communities. Everyone was telling me to run ads. Everyone was telling me you can't scale a low ticket offer. All these SMA guys doing like, 10K a month thinking they're hot shit. They're like, yeah, you should do SMA. All those guys, by the way, are out of business now, transitioning, hitting me up, asking me how to do low ticket. So yeah, it's just that. If you can just remember that, dude, everything works. If there's somebody out there doing it, it works. One avatar, one channel, one product to $1 million a year, literally. And then at $1 million a year, then you can switch it up. Only now, and this is another thing, 150K a month hits. At 150K a month, we were still only selling like the website, the reviews, the 297 offer. That's it. Only at $150,000 a month, over like 400 and something clients. Only then do we start upselling into ads, AI, other stuff. And we're working on that stuff now. But understand how far we got with a basic $297 offer. Look how far you got with just selling reviews. Pick one thing, pick one avatar, sell the shit out of it, get really good at selling it, because then you become a master with that one thing. And you can $1 million a year, dude. That's it. And then figure it out from there. It's not rocket science.
For sure.
Actually, it's pretty hard. I won't lie. It's pretty hard.
Well, it's simple. It's simple, not easy, right? Not easy, it's simple, 100%. Not easy, right? It's easy to explain, really hard to do. But people can still do it. And that's like, to touch on the SMA stuff, people out of business. The SMA, and I think you'll be a testament to this. SMA, I think, got so popular and there's so many people doing it because literally the hardest thing that you and I do in our businesses when we're selling to small business owners is to get a card on file, is to get them to trust you to hand you money. That is the hardest thing you do. And so that's why when you're doing higher ticket, it's easier to get to 10K a month because you only need 5 or 6 people to say yes to you, right? Exactly. And this is something Matt DeSena says, and it's been affirmed to me. It's like getting a business owner to give you $100 and getting them to give you $1,000 is not 10 times harder. Right? It's not 10 times harder. It's like maybe 2 times harder, right? It's a little bit harder to get them to give you 1,000, but just the card in general and giving you that cash is very challenging. And so the SMA thing, you can get to 10K, 20K a month pretty quickly. I got to 20K per month or 18K per month, like 6 or 7 months into SMA. But the type of business that I had at 17K per month for SMA is all day delivery, clients churning, constant hamster wheel. The type of business I had when I was doing 17K a month with Review Harvest was just like this. just steady up to the right, and like not nearly as much as y'all's. Y'all's is like, ching, taking off. But yeah, what's the difference? Explain to the audience, what's the difference in the low ticket stuff?
It's a beautiful thing. That's an amazing point. And I think this is one thing, maybe my only other advantage early on was for some reason I knew what you just said. So the kind of money you make, the kind of money you make is very different than like how much you make, right? Mm-hmm. So like you just said, the type of money you make with a low ticket program going like this, as opposed to this, is significantly better for your mental, just everything. Also, this is huge. As a beginner, why do you think you're good enough to get on and ask for $3,000 and you can actually provide a $3,000 service? Bro, I was shitting myself talking to someone for a free trial. I was shaking putting this guy's credit card in for a 2-week free trial, and I'm a pretty confident dude. Imagine some nerd who's 18 years old trying to sell someone on a $3,000 program, bro. You're gonna shit your pants.
Yeah.
Like you have to start small. And dude, scale to 10K a month with low ticket. And if you want to go do SMMA, then go do SMA. But if you're a beginner, going through the process and getting the reps of getting someone's credit card, fulfilling a service, doing client delivery, hiring a VA, building out the systems, client retention, check-in calls, just building a sales funnel, running ads, those skills will stack so high that by the time you actually have any kind of a decent business, like you can go do other things, but get the reps in on like, dude, that's why we start with free trials. We just want to get the reps in, and then you can do other shit later. But so many kids start and they're like, oh, I can't sell a $3,000 PIF. Like I'm going to quit. Bro, go sell something for a free trial or $97. Do that 10 times. Go through that. Like then when you sell that $3,000 PIF, you'll actually be able to sell it because you're confident, right? Yeah. It's just reps. It's just reps.
For all sure. 100%. I think too, a lot of people's hesitation with the low ticket stuff is that in the beginning, it feels like a whole bunch of work for a very small amount of money. Like I remember like when I first started making some of the affiliate money, and I was having people like check out on School or Stripe or whatever and like just pay for my stuff in full. And I was like, this person just gave me like $800. And I also sat on a call today for an hour and 45 minutes arguing with somebody over a free trial for reviews. Like this is like totally different. And so it can be discouraging, but it stacks way differently. So how do you make the math make sense now that y'all have scaled, run ads, have a sales team? How do y'all make the math make sense on the low ticket stuff?
Yeah. So again, what I'm going to say, this is more advanced. We only implemented this past maybe 100, 200K, 100, 120K a month ish. But we just do upsells now. So if you ever gone to McDonald's, right, and they offer you a burger, they say, hey, do you want Coke and fries with that? So we just apply the same logic to the business. Hey, so we have the website here. Do you want SEO? Do you want blog posts? Do you want Google ads? Do you want a calendar booking? Do you want an AI chatbot? Whatever else, right? So it's like when somebody already knows, likes, and trusts you have their credit card, it's super simple. Hey, do you want this? You already have this. So that's how we make the math work more at scale. Yeah. At the beginning, we're just fighting for one-to-one on the front end, trying to $300 to acquire, $300 upfront cash. Obviously, with salespeople and stuff, that math changes. But in my head, dude, I just saw $300 and I was just, it didn't really make sense. Like now looking back, I was like, nobody's ever going to churn, right? That was just my dumbass mindset. I was just like, yo, this is $300 I'm going to get forever, right? And that was just like the retard mindset I had forever, right? Just to give you an idea of how locked in I was and how locked in, if you're a beginner, you should be. I would cold call and I would get one client a week for $97, maybe one client every 10 days. And I literally was telling my friend, I was like, dude, all I have to do is do this every day, all day for 2 years and I'll be at 10K a month. Like, saying that now sounds so stupid, but that is how committed I was to doing that. I was like, I'm just going to do this. I found a channel that worked. I'm just going to do this. Right. So just to give you an idea of like that, like almost autistic mindset, but that's what you have to have at the beginning to win, literally.
No, 100%. And I think what people get lost and they quit and stuff because they do this thing of constant new, right? They're constant new and they're constantly, performing below where they could be performing with the stuff that actually worked. That was the same exact way. I was like, hey, if I get like when I was doing the review stuff and I kind of got steady and I was like, if I get 2 clients a week, I'll be at like 20K a month by the end of next year or whatever. And literally it would be like Wednesday or Thursday. And I'm like, I'm going to do whatever I can to get 2 clients a week. I'm not worried about scale. I'm just worried about getting in front of the most amount of people possible. So it's pulling out my phone, texting my contacts, texting my current customers for referrals, doing whatever is possible to actually get those customers. And then what happens is like, once you get that base, then yes, you do start to figure out you have other options of ads and other ways to scale. But it is like, it takes that like, hey, I know I can get 2 clients a week if I do this. And I'm just going to do that. And I'm not going to look at anything new. I'm not going to worry about the AI cold callers. I'm not going to worry about the, AI this, AI that, whatever. And I'm just going to put my head down and grind. So no, that's absolutely fire.
100%.
One thing I want to talk to you about with the actual fulfillment is, because I know, like I said, we're talking a lot about beginners getting started. Once again, you don't want to worry about this stuff, but you are going to have questions about how it works. And so when you're getting them the leads, how many of your customers use the Lead Connector app? How many of them log into the software? Are y'all just delivering the leads and saying, hey, go follow up with them? Or what are y'all doing from that perspective with y'all's?
Yeah, so you're 100%. So you're delivering and you're selling a system, not a service, right? So we want them using the system. So that means if we can get them on calendar, in a perfect world, you'd have a contractor come in, give them a website, give them an invoice system, give them a calendar booking system, and have them using the app all day long to respond to the leads. That is a top tier. That is best case scenario because you're being sticky. And just to go back to what you said about beginners, you don't have to worry about this stuff at the start, but this vision is what made me scale. Understanding if I could be sticky and get them to use the app all day long and actually use the software, they would stick forever and ever and ever and ever. So yes, beginners, you don't have to worry about this, but if you lock this vision in and understand how sticky this shit really is, when you get a $300 a month client, you're going to understand how they're just going to stick forever. Hypothetically, right? Obviously at scale, shit breaks, but at the beginning, like it doesn't. Your clients, if you give them a good customer experience service, will stick with you, especially at the beginning. Only at scale does shit break. But yeah, so we just try to get them using the app as much as humanly possible, responding to their leads inside the app, respond to reviews inside the app. Only now we're trying to get people on invoicing and calendar systems, because if they use that mobile app to operate their business, dude, they will never leave because they're using your software as the core foundation that their business runs on. So you have to have that mindset and that vision when you're building a system. You're selling a system, not a service. You have to remember that.
100%. And HighLevel's done a whole bunch of research on this, and Lead Connector is the number one thing that keeps people around. It's like, it is the buzzing pocket effect, as they call it. It is getting notifications from Lead Connector all day, new review, new lead, respond to lead, messaging people through here. If they're on the Lead Connector app, they are going to stick. And the other side of the coin there is, now you are so involved in their business, and now you are kind of opening yourself up to more support, more questions. Hey, this isn't working. Hey, the invoice didn't go through, whatever. How are y'all dealing with that at y'all's scale? Is it just build on a support team, or is it training them on the onboarding call? What do y'all do there?
Yeah, a bunch. I mean, tequila really helps. Whiskey really helps. Like, it's a fucking shit show, dude. I won't lie. Like, you have to understand, this is a shit show. Our business is a shit show, right? It is. And like, anyone who says otherwise is just completely fucking lying. So yeah, that's a problem. Like, we get some customers that are just such nightmares and they have all these questions. Michael, my partner, is really good at building a customer success team. So we have like 6 customer success managers. Honestly, we probably should have 10. But yeah, you just have to train them well and understand, like, at the beginning, I was doing all the customer success. Mike was doing all the customer success. The customer success at scale is the key to actually having low churn in a really scalable company. Because I can tell you right now, when I was my own customer success manager and Mike was his own customer success manager, our churn was way lower because we were so good at it, right? So also with customer success, a key and golden nugget with this, with CSM stuff, is having the CSM, customer success manager, educate the prospect the whole way through the onboarding process. Hey, this is why reviews are important. Hey, when we build your website this way, this is why it's important. Hey, when we have a web chat down here, lots of people don't like to call. It's 2025. People are socially awkward. That's why I put the web chat here, so they can text if they're fucking weird. Right. So we have the CSMs educate the prospect all the way through. Hey, this is why this way of sending an invoice is better. Hey, when we send this invoice, guess what? You don't have to remember to actually request a review, because the review request goes out automatically. So the whole way, educating the customer on why what you're doing is valuable, and then also telling them all the stuff you're doing. Like customers love to hear how much work you're doing for them. So it's just customer support. And dude, it's a fucking nightmare. But it is a night. Like, it just sucks. And you get better at scale. But that's the thing with beginners, is they think shit's going wrong and they think they're doing something wrong. I'm telling you right now, we have 600 clients. Shit goes wrong every day, every day. It never stops. So just get used to it, honestly.
No, for sure. No, it's such a realistic point of view of business, because like, a lot of people that make YouTube videos are selling the dream, right? Selling the dream. It's easy. But ultimately, like, the number one comment I get on my videos is like, thanks for your transparency. Like, thanks for your transparency. Because that's what people are like craving nowadays. And yeah, you're so transparent in your videos. You're like, talking about all the downsides of it as well. And so, no, that's really good. I think something like somebody's listening to this and doing reviews, one thing that we found as well, when I get off the onboarding calls as the founder, I know that like we've got to get a CSV file uploaded like now. Like it's not a, hey, let me go look at it later. Hey, let me send this off to my let me send this off to my VA to like go through it. Whatever. It's like, hey, we need a Google Business Profile connected, and we need a CSV file, because those are the two biggest things on the onboarding call. And like they'll tell you all these little things, but you kind of have to have those subtle nudges of educating them of like why we need to do this. Because once you get profile connected and you get the CSV file, you can start doing the reactivation. You can start getting the reviews. Then when you pick up the phone after you've gotten them 20 reviews, they normally answer and they'll give you another call if you got to go down the onboarding funnel and stuff like that and do more stuff. You're cold calling all day long. Obviously cold calling is not fun. What is like the why behind, what is your kind of the fuel in the tank that got you to keep going when you wanted to not keep going?
Yeah. I don't know if he says this, but like, what do you have to lose? Like if I'm freaking a bunch of shoulder issues, back issues. I'm taking painkillers all day long. I'm living with my mom. I'm 25 years old. I'm broke. Like, my mom's like fucking help me pay for groceries and shit. It's like, what do I have to lose? Am I going to sit in my mom's house all day and jerk off and play video games like I was before? It's like, there's literally nothing to lose. So to me, there was just no other option. Right. Yeah. It's like, imagine going on Hinge and going on a Tinder date and being like, yeah, I live with my mom and I play video games all day. Like, dude, you're a fucking loser. You're not going to have a good life. Yeah. So that is kind of like the North Star of like, dude, I have no other option. Like something has to change because like it can't get worse, literally. Right. Yeah. Which is sad, but it's hilarious because it was just so true. Right. Yeah. That, and then I think just like watching podcasts from Hermosi, Chris Williamson, Jay Waller, all these guys that you look up to and you're like, hey, I want to be like that. I think listening to advice from anyone's life that you don't want the life that they have is stupid. Right. Yeah. So if you're watching a podcast and you're taking advice from someone who doesn't have the life that you are looking to build, there's no reason to follow their advice. So I would watch these podcasts. I would go like, dude, I love that these guys have this platform and they're sharing all this inspirational stuff about how they built their business and how to make money. And they came from the bottom and all this stuff. And they're able to influence people like we are now on this podcast. Like, this is so cool to me. Yeah. Right. That I can be a success story and an inspiration for other people is super cool. So I would watch those podcasts all day. I still did the same thing like every other beginner, mentally masturbated for 3 months, figured out what business model to start, made a billion excuses as to why it wouldn't work. And then one day you just wake up and you're just like, dude, like I have no other option. I have to make something work. Yeah. Otherwise, like, dude, you're just going to end up with a sad, sad life and you only got one.
Yeah, dude, 100%. No, I think that we all know the quote, like you turn out to be the 5 people you spend the most time with. But I think like where this hasn't gotten caught up is that nowadays I can spend more time with Alex Hormozi than anybody else in my life. Alex Hormozi puts out hours of content every single day. Alex Hormozi can be my mentor. It might lack some context. That's why I paid $6,000 for his little AI thing, so he can have a little more context on me. But yeah, no, we can surround ourselves with the absolute. That's the amazing thing about the internet, with the absolute best entrepreneurs in the world. And we can, that'll rub off on us for sure. And this is probably something you get all the time in your comments. Beginners listening to this would be like, okay, well, who do I call? Do I niche down? Who do I niche down to? Walk us through your decision to go with contractors and what you would recommend to a beginner about the whole niching down thing.
100%. And last point on what you just said, I cut off I didn't leave the house. I cut off all my friends. I literally went to bed at 8 p.m., woke up at 5 a.m. And one last thing, like I have this little driveway on my road out there. And like, there's all these little pebbles. And then every single morning I would just take one pebble and I would just stack it like 20 minutes down the road on my morning walk. And it's really cool, dude. Cause like I went back there a couple months ago. I'm like, oh my God, there's like hundreds of pebbles here. Right. So just one small cool story. I just was looking at that the other day and I'm like, this is sick. So it's just waking up and stacking wins. Right.
That is I love that. Cause I used to I used to envision it of like, hey, I'm walking up to this massive boulder. I've got a chisel and a hammer and I'm just going to chip on it today. That's it. And over time you create something, but what a great visual. Like somebody needs, everybody listen to this, get a mason jar. If you're in the pain cave right now, get a mason jar and go grab a pebble or a rock every single day and leave that mason jar on your desk. And don't make a single fucking excuse or skip the business model or, go to the next thing or try the new AI caller until that mason jar is full as hell. And you got a gallon size big. So yeah.
And one last thing on that point, and this was probably the key. This was the nugget. I think this is why I succeeded. If I had to pick one thing, I just remember waking up and looking at like, some dumbass TikTok about what would happen if you really tried for 1 year at something. I was like, okay, let me try. I literally gave myself 1 year. I was just like, I'm just going to try for 1 year. If I fail, I'll quit. Whatever. I'm just going to try every single day for 1 year. And if I don't make it, I will give myself permission to stop and to quit. And I will not hold myself accountable. I won't be upset with myself. I won't be depressed. I'm going to try for 1 year and 1 year only. And if at the end of it, I don't make it, I don't make it. And that's fine. And I just set that. Boom, 1 year, 12K a month. That's it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I really believe that. And that gave me almost like peace and like completely removed the need to succeed and this like fear of not succeeding. Cause I was like, okay, whatever. I'm just going to try for a year. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to show up for 1 year. And if I don't make it, I'll go back to jerking off and playing video games all day. That's what it is, you know?
Well, that's so valuable. I think what you had right was the expectation piece. You said, hey, I just have to keep doing the cold calls all day and get one client every 10 days. And in 2 years, I'll be at 10K a month. You had the expectation piece right. But a lot of people will think, oh, I'm going to make 20K a month on the second month or the third month or whatever. And they get to the third month and they're at 2K. Or 3K.
Or they don't even have a client. Or they don't even have a client.
Yeah, but they don't have a realistic expectation of how long things are supposed to take. And so they quit, even though they might be like making progress, they quit because their expectations were crazy. And so keeping those realistic expectations of, hey, like you said, your first 0 to 30 clients are going to take 10 times as long as your 30 to 60. And so just keeping the expectations there is so valuable. And you saw that you had that kind of in check.
1000%. And to answer your question about niching, and because that was your original question, is like, you know, how do you choose a niche? How do you choose one product, one avatar, whatever? Dude, I just had a friend that worked in his own construction business. Like that is the only reason I chose contractors, is because I had some kind of a semblance of a connection to somebody that ran that type of business. If my mom was a real estate agent, or if I knew someone that was a hairdresser, I would have chosen them. Literally, that's it, because they all work. And if anyone's ever played video games out there, niches are just like video game characters. They have really good stuff about them and really bad stuff about them. Yeah. Right? Contractors, like I can talk to them well because I am the way I am. Hairdressers, like every single niche has different things that are good and bad. There is no best niche, just like there's no one best character. Otherwise, everyone would just choose that niche and there'd be no businesses besides that niche. Yeah. That's why there's multi-billion-dollar corporations working with every single niche, because every niche works. Right. Yeah. So super important to understand and to not overthink that. Super important.
Yeah. Well, and that's shortcutting the 1,000 cold calls. If your dad's a plumber and your friend's a plumber and you've been around plumbing your whole life, if you go start working with plumbers, you still should do 1,000 cold calls 100%. But you, on their first cold call, you will know so much more about how they speak, what their life's like, what their pain points are, just because you've been around it. And so that's a fire point there. And then back to the niche thing. Yeah, there's no great niche. And then in every single niche, you have shitty and you have good, right? Like the bottom 50% of every single niche suck. Like they don't have CRMs. They don't use any tech. They do everything on pen and paper. They don't collect money. They all cash. They don't keep their contact information. Like they don't do anything, and they suck. But the top 50% of every niche is where you start to get like, okay, we can work with these people. We can help these people. And so just something to think about. If you reach out to 1,000 plumbers and they all suck, you might be reaching out to the bottom 20% or bottom 30% of that industry. And so just keep that in mind there.
That's what doesn't matter. You still got to do the reach outs. It doesn't matter if you get 1,000 rejections in a row, man. Cause you will get one and you're like, holy shit, this works. Yeah. Like literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And that's why I like spending so much time on the mindset and stuff as a beginner. Cause I just remember that so vividly. And I think, dude, the tech stuff comes, like learning the stuff comes, whatever, but it's like just not quitting. And everyone says that, but it's like, dude, that's just the only thing I had that I think made me successful is like, dude, you have to have that dog in you. Like there's nothing that could have stopped me from quitting before a year. Like that was it. Yeah. And like, dude, I swear to God, if 90% of people, I'm sorry, if entrepreneurs had that same mindset and they were like, yo, no matter what happens, I'm just going to try for a year. I think the success rate for how many people actually built good businesses would go up like substantially. But I think people, like you said, have the wrong expectations and they quit and then they're depressed and they just spiral. But if you give yourself a year and you're like, I don't give a shit if I make it or fail, dude, it's like when you're drunk playing golf. It's like you just don't care. Therefore, you're just better. Like you get better at certain things when you're drunk, like golf. That's why you're not allowed to drink in fucking professional golf tournaments, right? Yeah. Literally, it's like a performance enhancing drug. So that's the same mindset I used and I applied to business, bro. I was just like, fuck it. If I fail, I fail. But regardless, it's going to be a year. No matter what, nobody's going to stop me.
Yeah. No, that's so good. And I think, like you said, about people let the tech stuff, they let all the things they don't know stop them. But if you do the marketing side, and you get cash collected and you get money, you will figure out the rest. You will figure out the tech stuff. I had somebody on the podcast last week that hasn't come out yet, but I specifically remember when they joined the community and they were asking all these tech questions. And I was like, yo, like do some cold calls, yo, reach out to some people, do some cold email, whatever you got to do. And they're asking all these tech questions. And now they've been in it for like 7 or 8 months. They're like around 4K a month, I think. And I asked them on the podcast specifically, I was like, so is the tech piece like overwhelming to me? And she like barely even remembered the fact that she didn't know how the tech stuff worked. She's like, oh yeah, it's like second nature now. It's like, I click here, you click there. It's like, you will learn high level. I swear it looks, might look a little bit overwhelming, but you'll know like the back of your hand as long as you don't quit and just keep showing up.
1,000 and dude, the tech stuff is so daunting. I have 3 broken keyboards from like my first month of trying to learn Go High Level. I'm not even kidding. Like, I am not good with technology. Dude, this is my, you can't see it, but this is my 3rd Logitech G403 keyboard. Cause I literally would just sit here and just like, be like, all right, I'm over it. Boom, chuck it against the wall. I'm fucking going outside. I gotta cool off. Then I have to order another one from Amazon. But the tech stuff is so daunting and hard, dude. And I promise you now, dude, I could do Go High Level blindfolded, and I'm not a tech guy. So do not worry about the tech. Sales and marketing and being the engine of your business early on is the most important thing by far. Being the engine that gets the train moving out of the station and actually getting clients and doing sales and marketing and letting people know about your stuff, the only thing that matters from the first until honestly 10, 20K a month. And then you can start getting the tech stuff, optimizing your systems, doing all the nerd shit that, Mike does now, thank God. But literally, dude, 120K a month, just take action and do sales and marketing. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, no, I think that's absolutely fire. Like we saw in your screenshot earlier, though, we had a very sharp curve up straight. So if we get a little bit more advanced here for a second, for the people that might already be seeing some success, they want something a little bit deeper. What was the one thing, or what was one of the biggest things? Obviously, it's probably 100 small things, but what was one of the biggest things that took you from going like this to like and getting 180K a month right now?
Yeah, I mean, number one, it was partnering with Mike. So like right there is when I partnered with Mike, and that is when we were just able to go crazy. That being said, even before that, it was kind of hockey sticking, and that was just literally double down on stuff that worked. So finding ads that worked and then copying the messaging and just having big balls and just spending a bunch of money on ads and fucking hoping you see a return on investment, dude. Literally, it is a scary thing to see ad accounts at $200, $300 a day. Now, obviously we're way more than that, but you just have to have balls and look at it almost like a video game. Like you have to look at your ad account like a video game. Cool, I spent $500. I got $400 back. I know that $400 is going to be recurring. So next month it'll be $800, and at least I broke even, if not a little bit more. Understand when you're doing this model that me and Clay are talking about, you are building a recurring revenue business model, right? So that means when let's say you spend $300 and you acquire a $150 a month customer, the next month you're going to break even. Almost every customer, as long as you give decent customer service, is going to stay 2 months. So whatever your cost is on the front end, you can literally double it on profit on the back end. And you have to think like that, right? So you can't stress and understand that recurring revenue, it's a beautiful model. It just keeps stacking. It's fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful thing, right?
No,
Still a shit show, but it's beautiful.
Yeah. No, like I said, it's so worth it. We talk all the shit about how it sucks and all stuff, but it is, at the end of the day, it is so worth it. I've said it a million times, but when you get the Stripe notification for $200 or $300 from someone you haven't talked to in a year, like that is the best feeling, I swear. And once you have 5, 10K a month in recurring revenue, whatever it is, you also have a cushion there. Right. You're one-on-one on the front end, or maybe you're paying $800 for $400 in recurring revenue, but hopefully you should have 5, 10, eventually 30, 40, 50K. That's going to help you cushion that and keep spending on ads aggressively.
When you hit 10K a month, I would say 10K is even 6 or 7K. I call it like escape velocity. Like you've hit escape velocity where it's like, okay, you can kind of like mess around and fuck up and spend a bunch of money on stuff that you probably shouldn't, like ads or testing new things or bad hires or bad website designers, whatever. And you have that cushion in your mind of like, okay, I know at the bare minimum, I'm still getting $6,000 or $8,000 next month. Let's say you're at 10K a month, worst case scenario, you're still getting 8K. All your clients are not canceling in 1 month. And when you have that cushion and you become dangerous. You become really dangerous because you have 8 or 10K. And when you can blindly throw $5,000, $6,000 a month at something, you will find something that works. Like the amount of times I just blindly threw money at ads that I just thought would work because I knew I had $5,000 or $6,000, $8,000 coming the next month. Ridiculous. And what happened? I've eventually found ads that worked, and 1 or 2 really good ads took me to 15, 20K a month. But I just kept testing shit. I kept saying dumb shit. I kept getting on the camera. I kept posting the ad. Even here, because I live in Hawaii, people I don't know, I know they're making fun of me because they see my ads all over the internet. right? And a lot of people are so uncomfortable to even get on camera. Who gives a fuck, dude? I'm making 180K a month. Like they're gonna like they might laugh at you at the beginning. Like now it's like it is what it is, dude. I'm fucking crushing it, and it was embarrassing at the start. I really want to take my ads down at the start actually because I just heard all that shit and people were making fun of me and stuff behind my back. And now I'm just like, well, these ads are blasting, bro. $2,000 a day, it's game over, baby. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's funny how like I was the same way. Like I was getting started. When I started posting videos about HighLevel, I was like, should I do like not my last name? Should I have like a different name there so like people don't find if they search it up or whatever? But it's like, dude, at the end of the day, it's not none of it matters anyways. But
it's scary at the start though, man. I was very scared about what people would think, and people are gonna see my company and be like, oh, this guy's not gonna make it. Oh, he looks so dumb on camera. Like, oh, he's trying to start some dumb fucking web design company. Like, dude, you care at the beginning.
Yeah.
You care I cared till I was at like probably 15K. And then I was just like, oh, like this is real now because it doesn't feel real. Like, let's say you're a beginner and you start making a little bit of money and somebody asks you what you do. Your first thought is not, oh, I run a software company. You're just like, oh, I'm trying to make this business work. I don't really know what I'm doing. When you hit like 6 or you start to make more money than most people make at working a normal job, something changes and you're like, holy shit, like I actually do this now. Right. It's a whole different thing to be able to look someone in the eye and be like, yeah, I have a software company. And you say it with utter confidence as opposed to like saying, yeah, I just started this new business. I'm trying to get it to work. But yeah, I'd like do websites and stuff. Dude. Not confident, right? So there's a turning point in there. And you guys, that is the most beautiful fucking thing. And I don't remember when that happened. I think it was at 10K a month. But I was like, oh shit, like this is my job. Like this is what I do. Like I'm a software guy. Yeah. So yeah, that's probably the coolest experience that I've had in the entire journey is that turning point.
Yeah, it was. I honestly, I think I hit like 23 or 24K a month before I stopped telling people, "Oh, I'm in marketing." People ask, "Oh, what do you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm in marketing. I'm in marketing." Just because I didn't, it's like you're using HighLevel, and you're like, guys, what's real, what's not? But then like, it's like, yeah, fucking a software company. We're good. Yeah. Dude, I love it. This was amazing. Where can people find you? We'll obviously put links in the description and stuff. But where should they find you?
Yeah, man, just Kystone YouTube at Kystone808 at Kystone808 on Instagram. Send me a DM, shoot me a follow on Instagram or whatever, and on YouTube, man. And yeah, it's super fun. I appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, y'all better DM him quick because I'm sure he's gonna quit responding to his DMs here quickly. Because every time I post a YouTube video, it just gets like 10, 20,000 views or something. So
it's blowing up, man. It's blowing up. But yeah, dude, thank you so much, man. This has been fun.
Dude, yeah, loved having you on. Have a great rest of your day. Everybody check out his links down below. And also comment down below. I'm sure he'll be in the comments. He responds to all his comments on YouTube. So comment any questions you got. And yeah, we'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Better.